Perfume is a time capsule. A single spray can take us back to a first dance, a favorite outfit, or a moment we thought we'd never forget. But time is a tricky thing. Some scents that once dominated department store counters and vanity tables have drifted into obscurity, tucked away in dusty boxes or remembered only when a name is whispered. 10 perfumes that were once bestsellers but are forgotten today. Elegance by Prince Machiavelli, 1975. We Wear Elegance by Prince Machiavelli. That jingle from the late 70s is burned into the memories of anyone who had a TV. Elegance was sophisticated, aldehydic florals with a touch of musk, worn to cocktail parties, discos, and candlelit dinners. For a while, it seemed every woman had it. Yet somewhere in the 80s, the scent slipped away, remembered now mostly through commercials and nostalgia. But for those who wore it, elegance was elegance with a wink. Toujours More by Corday, 1924, popular through the 1960s. Long before the 70s rush of bold scents, Toujours More was the quiet favorite of women who wanted something romantic. It was woodsy and floral, with a powdery dry down that lingered on scarves and furs. By the 1960s, it was still a bestseller, something your elegant aunt or grandmother may have dabbed on before a dinner party. Today, though, Corday perfumes are mostly forgotten, but Toujours More once whispered sophistication. Norel by Norman Norell, 1968. Norell was one of the first great American designer perfumes. Created by fashion designer Norman Norell, it was refined, green, and floral, a touch of sophistication. Women loved it because it smelled expensive but was wearable every day. It became a department store hit, often given as gifts for milestones and special occasions. Though reformulations lingered into later years, its heyday has long passed. Today, Norell is a name whispered only among vintage perfume collectors. Cacharel by Prince Machiavelli, 1970s. Another Prince Machiavelli hit, Cacharel was earthy, woodsy, and a little mysterious. It wasn't for everyone, but for those who loved it, it was signature. It smelled of independence, of women who liked standing apart from the crowd. While it sold briskly for years, today, Cacharel is largely forgotten, a relic of a time when perfume meant individuality. Tatiana by Diane von Furstenberg, 1975. In the 70s, Diane von Furstenberg revolutionized fashion with her wrap dress and launched Tatiana to go with it. A white floral bursting with orange blossom and tuberose, it was glamorous but approachable, just like the women who wore her clothes. For a while, Tatiana was a department store star, but like many designer perfumes of the decade, it eventually slipped away. Remembered now mostly by the women who paired it with their first DVF dress. Wind Song by Prince Machiavelli, 1953, popular through the 1960s-70s. Soft, powdery, and romantic, Wind Song was the perfume of sweethearts. It was affordable, widely available, and carried that unforgettable jingle. Your wind song stays on my mind. Wind Song was light, powdery, and unmistakably romantic, the kind of perfume a woman might wear every day. It sold in huge numbers for decades, often as a holiday gift set. But today, it's one of those scents you only find tucked away in antique shops, remembered fondly by those who wore it on first dates and anniversaries. Les Jardins de Max Factor, 1960s-70s. Max Factor wasn't just makeup. Their perfumes were once household names, and Les Jardins was among the best loved. Floral, powdery, and distinctly feminine, it was affordable glamour. Mothers sprayed it before heading to the PTA. Daughters snuck a spritz before dates. Today, Les Jardins is almost entirely forgotten, but it once bloomed on countless vanities. Turbo Cologne by Fabergé, late 1970s. Not every bestseller was for women. Turbo by Fabergé was a cologne marketed to men in the late 70s and early 80s. Fresh, spicy and energetic, it was in gift sets, Father's Day baskets, and drugstores everywhere. For a time, it was one of Fabergé's biggest hits. Today, it's vanished completely, another scent lost to history. But ask any man who wore it, or any woman who smelled it on her boyfriend's jacket, and they'll tell you it left an impression. Heaven Scent by Helena Rubinstein, 1941, peaked in the 1960s. With a name like Heaven Scent, you knew it was designed to capture innocence. This perfume was airy and delicate, with soft aldehydes, florals, and a hint of powder. In the 1960s, it was one of the most popular perfumes for young women, often gifted on birthdays or confirmations. For many, it was their very first fragrance. But in time, it faded. Perfume trends shifted toward bolder, sexier scents, and Heaven Scent quietly disappeared, leaving only nostalgia behind. Muguet de Bois by Coty, 1941, popular through the 1956s. Fresh, delicate and innocent, Muguet de Bois captured the scent of lily of the valley in bloom. Coty made it accessible, a fragrance almost every woman could afford. It was especially popular in the 1950s and 60s, often given as a birthday or Mother's Day gift. For many, it was their very first perfume. Today, it has all but disappeared from shelves, but one sniff brings back springtime dresses, garden weddings, and the innocence of another era. These perfumes may be forgotten by the stores, but not by us. They were there for birthdays, dances, weddings, and everyday mornings. They lived in our purses, our dresser drawers, and our memories. Perfumes vanish, but the feelings they gave us, those stay forever. Which of these 1970s scents do you remember? Did your mom wear one? Or was it yours? Share your memories in the comments. Subscribe for more vintage perfume stories. Relive the scents of the past. See you next time down memory lane.